Okay, round two. It my battery decided to go down and stuff. I bet you didn't ask for a part two either, but fuck you, it's gonna happen. Let's do this. So, anyways, I was in the loose disc area of my collection, and I got some PC games: Wolfenstein, Return to Castle Wolfenstein, which I think is a sequel. I've never played the originals. I don't have a good gaming PC. Eventually, I will have. If I have my way, I will have a good gaming PC for new titles, and also a retro gaming PC with Windows 98 on it, or maybe XP, probably XP, to play old stuff that's DOS based and whatnot. That's Crash Warped, which is pretty good. It's like one of the last really good ones for that series, I think. I already mentioned SmackDown versus Raw. I think this is my copy that I bought for 99 cents. See, proof. That's generally how I buy my games. 99 cents. 99 cents. All these loose disc games are going to be real cheap. $4 just because it's newer. Infamous. Andy, come get your games. And I have some other shit for you too if you want it. I don't even know if you're gonna watch it, but if you are watching, come get your shit. Love you, buddy. Anyways, yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2, already said that. Twisted Metal, Monster Hunter, Risk on PS2, which is actually a really fucking awesome game. Surprisingly, you wouldn't think so, but it's really cool. It's basically, if you like the board game, highly recommend it. Serious Sam, Next Encounter. Sorry, Serious Sam Next Encounter, which I think is the second one. I don't know. I don't have too much experience with the Serious Sam games except for 3, and I've only gotten partway through 3 because it's a fucking tough game. Vanquish, which is an interesting little Sega title that I've only sort of watched Mike play, but it's pretty cool. It came in a Punk Goes Pop Volume 4 fucking case, so I would never be caught dead buying that CD. But it had a game in it, so I did. Triple Play EA Sports. Fucking, is this actually this game? Yes, it is. So that's Throwaway. Those are, for anybody who doesn't know, who isn't into the trade, sports games are fucking worthless, and only a handful of them are worth playing. Rainbow Six, which I used to, oh god, I used to do this so much. This is the Eagle Watch one, and I used to play this one and the original one for PC constantly on my dad's PC. And I think that's it for loose disc games. So we're gonna shove these all back as quickly as possible and move the fuck on, so that I don't end up with part 2 also being a 20-minute video. You know, let's put it on my face. I know it's not exactly what you wanted to see, but oh look, there's a copy of SimCity 3000 Unlimited, which again, and the original Unreal game, which is like surprisingly kind of like Elder Scrolls ish. Like, I had no idea that Unreal started that way, but apparently it did. Also, Warcraft 3, which, oh my god, I played the fuck out of that game. So much. I had very few PC games, but a couple of those RTS type games and things like that, I binged them so bad. So bad. Okay, so, here's my face again. And we're gonna go. This is a loose disc copy of Devil May Cry 4 that I had before I bought the collector's edition, and that's sitting here because my friend Sam, not Sam Webb, different Sam, my friend Sam, was supposed to take this home as a gift, but he keeps leaving it every time he comes over. So here's some Wii games. My Wii collection is really small because they never go down in price and are they're just fucking expensive. Nintendo games are just like that. They're a bitch to collect. Twilight Princess. I have another copy of Twilight Princess somewhere. Metal Slug Anthology. Metal Slug is amazing. If you've ever played on Neo Geo, which is the original console it was on, it's even more amazing if I can coin that term. And having all the games on Wii is really, really a great way to play them. And it's cheap. If you've got a Wii, I suggest it. Mario Kart for Wii, self-explanatory. Power Tennis, also self-explanatory. Smash Bros. Melee, which is self-explanatory as well. Metroid Prime, I have 2 copies of that. One of them is Laserdisc. It came in a shitty black case with no thing. So this one's complete. So I keep that one around. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, which is... yeah, let's just not talk about that game. So the Legend of Zelda, the Wind Waker, which I have 2 copies of also because, funny enough, in order to do a playthrough of that game, I would have to put one disc in, and then when it hits the scratch on one disc, I would have to put in the other disc, because there's a scratch on that one that is earlier than the scratch on the other one. So it's a complex mathematics problem, you see. And if I play one before the other, like I just have to put them in a certain sequence in order to play that game, where my shit gets frozen. Pretty great. Maybe I can try to resurface them at some point. I don't know. But Hitman 2, which I have, which is the original way I ever was introduced to the Hitman series. Interesting playing it on GameCube. Obviously now I have the collection down here for PS2, and I'll probably play it that. If I ever replay it, I'll probably do it that way. I might just sell this GameCube copy at some point. Ghost Squad, which is the most hilariously terrible game. It's like Time Crisis. If Time Crisis was just, I don't know. I could try to think of something witty to say about it, but it's actually just like a terrible Time Crisis. But it's so bad that it's good. It's like one of the best shitty games I've ever played. Fucking hilarious. Sneak King, which is an interesting game because it's a Burger King game, and they used to come in as a Happy Meal toy, basically, quote unquote toy, and they're really like poorly developed, not even poorly developed, but just like really bare bones, barely qualifies as what you would call a game. But for getting it in a goddamn Happy Meal, whatever the version, Mighty Kids meal, I guess it would be for Burger King, for getting it in a fast food restaurant, just shoved in the box, just because. I mean, it's actually kind of entertaining for a minute. I usually show that game off. There's another interesting bad game, Prey, which is weird. It's different. It's different. I don't know if you've never played Prey before. It's a really cheap game, and there's some interesting history behind it, and I suggest you check it out. Okay, so I think finally, after all that time, we've finished this section. Now we're on to the consoles. Like, seriously, I just can't believe, like, this is why I'm doing this update, because for me, it's like, I need to catalog all the things I have now. And again, that's not bragging. It's just I've spent, like, this is all 3 years worth of work, dude. So we got our NES and Super NES stuff in here, which, Captain Skyhawk and some other games. What was this one? Section Z. A couple of interesting little games that I picked up. Pinball Quest, which is one of my all-time favorites. Battle Chess. The PC DOS version is far superior. This version runs like a fucking sluggish piece of shit. It's just awful. Back there is an NES fight stick, basically, and it's got, it's all laid out like that. Like it's, what I mean to say is it's an arcade stick. I got a complete copy of a game called Solstice, which was given to me, and I haven't really played any of the NES games. Actually, I don't typically tend to bring out the NES because we don't. I think I have an RF adapter, and that makes it difficult. So I'll put those back in a minute. Here's a bunch of DS and 3DS games stuff. Like, here's all my Nintendo handheld things. So I got my 3DS right here, which is a 3DS XL. I really do like the system, although I hate all the games I've gotten for it. There's Yu-Gi-Oh! game right there, Dark Duel Stories. This is my blue Nintendo Game Boy SP. I should know that. I got a Super Game Boy. And really, I could go through all the games I have. Like, I got Mortal Kombat 2 and Super Mario All-Stars. A lot of these I've had since they came out. Toy Story. Some of the other ones have been picked up. Mark of Kree. Or I don't mean Mark of Kree. What is this? Shit, I don't remember. Oh, Brutal Paws of Fury, which is like a weird old school side-scrolling fighter. Wayne's World, which is a game I've had lots of. It's my childhood. We're digging into my childhood crate here. Like, this is all the stuff. Turtles in Time, which is one of the most amazing arcade games ever. Super Mario World. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters, which is a fighter version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And, I've got a bunch of other stuff like Killer Instinct and whatnot, but I don't really want to dig all these out and unorganize them. But I have tons of Super Nintendo games, but my Super Nintendo doesn't work. So that's a common theme. I only have so many consoles that are working, and I need to get around to that eventually. But here's my N64. I have a clear purple controller, a red controller, and I believe a green controller. No, it's a blue one. And actually, I might have a green one somewhere, but this is my N64. I got plenty of the classics like GoldenEye and Perfect Dark and whatnot, and Pokemon Stadium is in here somewhere. There's a Mario Tennis game that I got. Star Fox, which is in terrible condition, but I picked it up for really cheap, and that's why I just wanted to be able to play the game. Someday I will get a clean copy, and then someday, way beyond that, I might start trying to pick up complete box copies. But Sega stuff. There's my Genesis Destroyer. Got Jurassic Park here. Got Sonic the Hedgehog, which is a complete version of it, and Sonic 2. If you don't understand me saying Sonic, then I don't know. You gotta be into these things. Sonic 3. So I have all the Sonics. I almost had a Knuckles one, like a Knuckles insert at some point, but that's Jurassic Park again. And I have a copy of Aladdin. And you know what? My Sega, you will notice that as I go through some of this, that my Sega collection is really small because I never had Sega growing up, and honestly, I just don't really care about Sega that much as far as their consoles went. I think they had some clever ideas, especially talking about the Dreamcast, which I need to get a Dreamcast at some point. But I'm just not a huge Sega dude, so I don't have a whole lot of that stuff. I really have them just for collecting purposes, and that's about it. PS3 controller. This is my PlayStation thing here. So I got my PSP right here, which I obtained not too long ago. There's a cover for it, which isn't really that important. And I got a small little stack of PSP games that I got with it, like Daxter and a Ratchet Clank game and Siphon Filter and some stuff like that. Nothing too exciting there. I could immediately tell. It was very easy for me to see why PSP didn't work. Like, the lack of the thumbstick thing that everybody complains about was apparent just immediately for me. Now, despite not having the console, I do have a clear blue Dreamcast controller with a VMU that matches also. And I got that for $5. I think I took the price sticker off. Yeah, I did. But which I usually do because it looks better. So, we're going to have another 20-minute video. Fuck it. Whatever. YOLO. I never say YOLO ever, and I'm never going to ever say it again because that was retarded. And then this is honestly just a pile of random cords and bullshit in here mostly. I don't think I have anything else really important in here. Just extra accessories and things that I don't have anything to do with. Old phones and whatnot. If you want to buy some phones, I guess you can hit me up. It's not really that important, though. Yeah, this is my bullshit drawer. This is like, which really it should be used for games, but we needed age worth of junk. So this is my Wii U. I love the Wii U. Fuck the haters. Like, really, seriously, fuck the haters on that one. Sorry for the bad angle. I'm grabbing some stuff right here and I'm having to hold on to it. So the Wii U is an amazing console. I don't give a shit what anybody says. One of the best consoles I've ever played with. Unfortunately, it's the same problem that Nintendo always has, where developers are not on the same page. And so it really doesn't have a whole lot to offer based on software. Hardware, though, fucking excellent. Most innovative shit I've ever touched. Next to maybe the Dreamcast, I would say. Because as much as I'm not a Sega fanboy, I will admit that Sega had some cool shit with the Dreamcast. This is my PS4, my brand new PS4. I've been really enjoying this one. Really dig the controllers. Although, here's my favorite controller ever. It's tried and true, and everybody uses it. Has it's just such a good controller, easy to map, easy to do whatever. Which on my, just a great controller. But I'm saying that because this is probably my second favorite. To be honest, it's pretty great. The only thing that bothers me, these triggers are so sensitive. Like, I can barely touch them and it will be like a full press. It is insane and a little too much if you ask me. Some original Xbox controllers because I have an OG Xbox right in here. Oh wait, this is my extra 360 that I just bought. Because you never know when you're going to need parts because they overheat like a bitch. And if I make it through and this one is in good condition in another couple years, I can just sell that extra one. Make investments, people. When you're doing this, you can always sell new shit. And I got this thrown in with it. This is a DVD remote, which I don't know if I'll ever even use, but it's cool to have, I guess. Here's my Wii, which I actually really like the Wii as a console, again. But the games, again, are terrible, mostly. There's only like 20 to 30 games that are really worth it on a Wii. That's too bad because it's great. It's a great console. Like, it literally revolutionized motion control. So, I don't know. You can't really talk shit. Here's a copy of Civilization 4 for PC. It's just hanging out there. This is my brother's. This is my brother's controller, actually. So, I need to get that back to him eventually because I've got some new ones. Which are torn up, unfortunately. Like, look like somebody's dog chewed on them. But such is the shit of buying used sometimes. Some more accessories. Let's see what's down here. That's an underwear drawer. Nobody need to see that. Here's my OG Xbox. Yeah, nothing special, but I got it for like $40. And altogether, I managed to get controllers and everything for like $60 altogether. So that was a good buy. There's my PS1. Actually, Tasha's PS1. But again, whole shared ownership thing when you're married and whatnot. What's yours is mine, what's mine is yours. So I get the benefit of having her stuff added to the collection where it benefits. This is one of the orange light phasers for the NES. Could play Duck Hunt and shit. Original controller that started it all with the PlayStation making an appearance, and I got a Pro controller this isn't the Pro, this is like I think they call it the arcade. I don't know, whatever. And in here, I got my GameCube, which I need cords for, and I need more controllers also. I got some extra games in here and some throwaway titles that I don't really care to display. Here's my Fallout 3 DLC I mentioned in part 1 of this little escapade. Here's my Metroid Prime. Extra copy. If anybody wants it, they can have it. For a modest fee. And here is my Sega Saturn, which I have no cords for. And so therefore, I've only gotten it to plug it in and play it once. But really, again, I don't care about Sega that much. I shouldn't say I don't care, but it's not like my thing. So I'm not too worried about it. I got it as a collector's thing, and it was cheap. It was like $50. for that thing and a controller and whatnot. So, I think. Oh my god, I think we're done. I think we're actually done with this shit. And just in time too, because I'm literally about to run out of space.